Hello everybody, Pinstripe here. What is up with you? Welcome to Mines, an unused map in Hogs of War that greatly incorporates the things I've been talking about recently in regards to weather effects and time of day. As you can see, when the camera moves around, the shadow is cast over the map, which kind of hides away different things and different assets that you can't really see until you move forward, or the camera moves forward and it reveals everything. But this is a good example of how it would have looked like on the PlayStation version and how it greatly affected the frame rate, because in certain areas of the map the frame rate is fairly decent, and then in others it's just absolute trash. Nevertheless though, that doesn't take away from the sheer size of this map. I don't know if it comes down to the fact that the actual map is larger, or if it's because the assets and pig models are scaled down. I'll leave that up for you to decide. Let me know in the comments down below as always. But yeah, the overall theme of this map is pretty much there. I'm guessing this is a quarry. You've got bridges that link different areas of the map together. You've got this main building as well, which I'm guessing pigs were able to walk into. You'll see in a moment that the scale between the pigs and the buildings was pretty much done to scale. And other than that, it's quite barren. Each area in terms of the outer edges of the map is basically one sheer cliff. So you have this low ground and high ground differential going on, as well as having pillboxes in the top corner of the map alongside the main building, so they kind of oversee everything, I guess. Maybe you'd have enemy pigs in there. I don't know how things are meant to be laid out in terms of one team and another, but you can see here the scale between the pig and the pillbox, which is funky because nothing has collision. You're able to walk through everything. Bridges don't have collision either, so pigs can just walk over it and fall straight through it. So essentially the main basic stuff of the game was there in terms of the assets, basic animations, and just being able to walk around the map. That was pretty much it. In terms of gameplay, I have stated before that it's difficult to show any because nothing was really functional at this point. So when I'm trying to like fire weapons or stuff, everything is a little bit broken, and you'll see that in a moment. But you can see the scale here between the pig and the door, which from a game design perspective is pretty good, but also difficult to pull off when you think about everything else that is to do with this game in terms of gameplay and how buildings would have been affected, that kind of thing. But look how broken these animations are. I mean, that's going straight through them, and don't even get me started on the particle effects. Buildings can really help set the tone and overall theme of any given map, and I really feel like this version of Hogs of War incorporated that kind of well. Compare that to today's game, whereby the aesthetic choices are replaced by game mechanics, in that you use buildings more in today's game to shield you from enemy attacks, and it's less about the story, which I find is kind of sad because, you know, with every mission in Hogs of War it's trying to tell a little story as to what is actually going on. And I guess it just begs the question, could that have been expanded on a little bit more given the assets that were available? But obviously there are limitations, and unfortunately that isn't the case. Another cool thing that I did find on this map is that there is a pathway leading all the way around the furthest, I guess, cliff edge, or just furthest portion of the hill that leads all the way down to the pillbox that I showed already, and it continues down onto the bridge. So pigs are able to get up to the highest point on this map, which maybe would have been a little bit overpowered, given that the majority of the time in this game, if you have the high ground, you have the advantage. Because if you look at, say, mission 6, where it's a big old siege, the enemy bombardiers on the top of the hill that have a full oversight and overview of the entire map, really just, they have it good up there, you know? So having the high ground is always going to be a big thing in this game, and maybe it wasn't revised as much at this point in development. I honestly don't know, because as I've said before, the older stuff in Hogs of War raises more questions than it does answers, in terms of game design, in terms of game functionality, and just lots and lots of questions. How do you rate this map so far? Do you think it would have been a good addition to the current game? Let me know your thoughts as always in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going as we always do, because I think this map would have made a good multiplayer map. Maybe that's what his intention was going to be. I honestly couldn't tell you, because things aren't labelled, things aren't, you know, signposted as this was meant to be here at this point. because the development of the game was at its very early stage. Another cool thing that I found was a pillbox inside the actual building, the largest building on the map, that's like behind two doors, which is a little bit, you know, secretive, I suppose, but I found it when I was like just looking under the map itself. So there's a pillbox inside the building, which again raises more questions than it answers, because, you know, what was the intended purpose of both the pillbox and the building? Were the pigs going to be able to go inside the building? Could you shoot from the windows? Were the doors going to have their own animations? Were they going to open? There's just lots and lots of questions that are left up to speculation, I suppose, but it is cool to see and find these things when you're not really looking for it. But overall, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video, just a short one going over the unused map called Mines. I hope you enjoyed, and as I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I do intend to showcase more maps that I found and get them out to you as soon as possible, along with everything else. So in the meantime, I will catch you guys later for the next one.